Before the Civil War, thousands of people were enslaved. They were forced to work in the fields and the homes as servants and nannies, and some were even used as sex slaves for their masters. They were treated as items that could be bought, sold, and thrown away like trash, and they were struggling to break free. Most of the slaves were from Africa, and they had been kidnapped or sold by rival tribes. They were separated from their loved ones and everything they knew. Once they stepped onto the slave ships, their lives were forever changed, and they were lost to their families. The space on the slave ship was very crowded. They were packed in so tight they couldn't move, and many died along the way from disease or starvation, and their bodies were thrown overboard. Once the slaves got to the Americas, they were carefully inspected. Potential buyers looked for deformities, fitness, and other physical characteristics they thought would make better slaves or would be a waste of money. The physical characteristics, as well as the gender of each slave, would set the bidding price. They stood on platforms in front of buyers, and after they had been bought, they had been taken to farms all over the country. Many have thought slavery to be dead all over the world. Unfortunately, it is still alive and strong today. The slave owners have just been hiding it from the public's eye. It is now known more commonly as human trafficking. Slavery is the practice of forced labor without pay and under the threat of violence. It is estimated that there are 27 million people enslaved. Of those, 1.2 million are children. But there can never be an exact number because these people are hidden from sight and their numbers only increase year after year. The method of capturing people has not changed. The only difference is that the slave owners have come up with more inconspicuous ways of luring innocent people into their traps. They tell young girls they can have a better job and a better life if they come and work in a certain country. All travel expenses are paid, and all the girls have to do is show up at a certain place at a certain time. The girls are lured by these promises and are never heard from again. The majority of these girls end up as sex slaves, and it is estimated that 80% of slaves are women and children trapped in the sex slave trade each year. And they never see anything beyond the room they are kept in and are raped anywhere between 5 and 10 times a day. But the most common form of slavery is debt bondage. Again, people are lured by promises of a better life, but end up trapped as slaves as they try to pay off their so-called debts. They are forced to work in mines, fields, restaurants, factories, and anywhere else a slave owner can use free or cheap labor to their advantage. Slavery affects all people from all over the world. It doesn't matter what race, what religion, what country they're from, or their age. A slave owner just wants workers and couldn't care less about the people they enslave. And it is happening right here in the United States. Families who believe they are coming to follow the American dream become trapped and are hidden in plain sight, but most overlook them because they do not believe slavery still exists in this modern world. Anywhere between 14,500 and 17,500 people are brought to the United States as slaves each year. The majority of the women are forced into prostitution, and the rest are spread among domestic servants, farmhands, factory workers, and other jobs that most would not consider as slavery. If you believe someone is a slave or you want to know more and find out how you can help, you can contact the American Anti-Slavery Group. Free the slaves. And Not for Sale, as well as any other organization that is trying to end slavery. Together we can end the pain and suffering caused by slavery each and every day.